They raised tariffs to save American jobs and triggered the largest factory shutdowns in a generation. In 2025, Donald Trump and Elon Musk promised a renaissance for American industry. Higher tariffs on foreign steel and aluminum, more demand for domestic production, a manufacturing boom. Instead, the opposite happened. Prices skyrocketed, factories closed, tens of thousands of workers lost their jobs overnight. The cost of aluminum and steel surged by over 30%, choking the very industries tariffs were meant to protect. Small manufacturers collapsed under rising costs. Tesla's global sales plummeted as retaliatory tariffs shut key export markets. Meanwhile, U.S. GDP growth slumped to its lowest level in 7 quarters, just 1.1%. The cure turned out to be the poison. And the alliance between Musk and Trump, once hailed as unbreakable, was the first casualty of the chaos. But here's what no one said out loud. The trade war wasn't just a miscalculation. It was a carefully orchestrated disaster.
On June 3, 2025, Donald Trump doubled tariffs on imported steel and aluminum to 50%. It was bold, it was brutal, and it was meant to be a message. America first, no exceptions. Factories cheered. Markets surged, briefly. Elon Musk, one of Trump's most prominent business allies, publicly praised the move. Tariffs, he argued, would level the playing field for American manufacturing, especially for Tesla, as it ramped up its new US-based gigafactories. But beneath the headlines, the foundation was already cracking. American industries weren't prepared for the shock, and neither was Musk.
The retaliation came fast. China, Europe, and Canada imposed their own tariffs, targeting American cars, agricultural goods, and industrial equipment. Tesla, heavily reliant on global markets, was hit hard. Exports collapsed. European EV sales for Tesla dropped by nearly 50%, even as the overall market grew by 28%. Meanwhile, the cost of aluminum, a critical material for Tesla's manufacturing, soared by more than 30%. Production costs ballooned. Margins evaporated. But Tesla wasn't alone. Small and medium manufacturers across America buckled under rising expenses. Orders dried up. Layoffs began. And while the administration insisted the tariffs were winning, the numbers told a different story. U.S. GDP growth stalled at a mere 1.1%, the weakest pace in nearly 2 years. For Musk, the businessman, who had bet on a government-fueled boom, the trade war was turning into a personal and professional disaster. The hardest blows didn't land on Wall Street. They landed on Main Street. In places like Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, the industrial heart of America, the tariffs crushed small manufacturers, sheet metal shops, tool and die companies, parts suppliers. They faced skyrocketing input costs with no ability to pass them on. Profit margins evaporated, cash flow dried up. Thousands of small businesses folded. Unemployment in the manufacturing sector surged to 5.5%. In town halls and diners, the anger was palpable. Workers who had once cheered Musk's innovation and Trump's populism now found themselves out of jobs, struggling to pay mortgages, scrambling for health care. The slogans that had once sounded so bold, "America First," now rang hollow. Meanwhile, Tesla laid off hundreds at its Fremont and Austin plants. Production targets were slashed. Investors panicked. And the man once hailed as America's greatest innovator found himself under siege. It was Elon Musk who fired the first public shot. At a shareholder meeting in late June, he broke ranks. He denounced the trade war as economically suicidal. He warned that continued tariffs would gut the competitiveness of American manufacturing. The statement sent shockwaves through Washington.
Trump, never one to tolerate dissent, especially from an ally, lashed back on Truth Social. Maybe if Tesla focused more on cars and less on complaining, their sales wouldn't be crashing. The once powerful alliance between Musk and Trump fractured in full view of the nation. For Musk, the damage was immediate. Political cover evaporated. Tesla's stock tumbled further. Tariffs remained firmly in place. For Trump, Musk's betrayal was seen as treachery and an opportunity to rally his base against the ungrateful elite. What began as a partnership of ambition had collapsed into mutual destruction. But here's the deeper irony. Both men claimed to fight for American workers, yet both helped ignite the very collapse they had sworn to prevent. But behind the public collapse, another story was unfolding, one far less visible and far more disturbing. Before the first tariff was ever announced, Tesla lobbyists were already at work. Internal documents, later leaked to the media, revealed how Musk's team had quietly pushed for trade policies favoring electric vehicle components, battery metals, rare earths, and aluminum, materials critical to Tesla's supply chain. They lobbied not for broad protectionism, but for selective tariffs, strategic moves designed to cripple competitors and boost Tesla's domestic production advantage. In short, the trade war wasn't just a nationalist crusade. It was a carefully engineered corporate strategy. And Musk wasn't the only one. A handful of American conglomerates had also backed the tariffs, betting that short-term pain for consumers and workers would deliver long-term gains for their bottom lines. But what none of them predicted was the speed and ferocity of the backlash. Tariffs triggered retaliation, markets contracted, global supply chains unraveled. Instead of winning, they had set the whole system on fire. And the workers, the small businesses, the communities, they paid the price first. In Washington, trade wars are declared in press rooms. But in America, they are fought and lost in living rooms and on factory floors. Today, the dust has barely settled. Tesla continues to struggle abroad. Small manufacturers are still closing their doors. American workers remain caught between slogans and policies that failed to deliver. And the alliance that once symbolized bold ambition, Musk and Trump, has been reduced to a cautionary footnote. But a deeper question lingers. When ambition blinds strategy and pride outweighs pragmatism, who truly wins? And more importantly, who loses?